This story begins when a traveling merchant, Kraft Lawrence, passes with his cargo through a village. It's a small village in the mountains. He is stopped at the village entrance, and the guards check his cargo. He tells them about a sheaf of wheat he received from another village because of its great variety, strong against the cold and resilient against pests. The guards agree, and they tell him about the pagan festival held in their village, celebrated by heretics who do not believe in the God that created this world. He passes through the village and meets some people who are harvesting. He comes to know Yarai, who is in the next field with many young men, and they believe one of them will end up as hollow this year. He goes to the next field and sees many people gathering there to harvest. He sees Yarai cut the last sheaf of wheat and appear as hollow this year. Many people ran over to him, catching him and locking him. After that, he moves to a shopkeeper to get some tennis silver. The shopkeeper tells him about the village people, and how they do not worship any old god but only the new god who teaches them farming methods. He moves out and sees people dancing in happiness because Hollow appeared. He moves deeper into the village and rests across the river at night. The next day, the sun comes out, and he opens his cart, surprised to see a girl there. He is shocked to see that this girl has ears and feels fear. He wakes up this girl, who is naked and has beautiful golden hair with red eyes. She roars and has a tail. She eats some dried meat and tells him she slipped into his carriage because she has a wish to leave the village. She mentions her name is Hollow, called a god and bound to the village for a long time. But she sees herself just as Hollow, born in a place called Yoitsu. After that, she moves to his cart for some chill, but he wakes her and tells her to show him her real form so she can live with him. She tells him she can change herself by using the blood of a living creature or a small amount of wheat. She eats the wheat and changes herself. A bright light appears, and he falls. When he looks in his cart, she has disappeared. He feels fear and spends a night in the village at his friend's house. He has a good dinner with Yarai, who tells him it's just a superstition about Hollow. He remembers the old days when he started buying wheat from them, and now merchants from large towns also come there to buy their wheat. He is sure they will have a great harvest next year and beyond, and they do not need any Hollow. He returns to his room, sits on his bed, and thinks there is no need for Hollow when she suddenly appears and tells him she came there by hiding inside the wheat. He tells her he is afraid of her, and when he asks her to show her real form, due to his fear, he thinks she disappears. She tells him she lives there just to ensure her promise to the person to harvest the village. But some believe that beautiful harvests are hard on the land, and people think it is her fault. Now they think they do not need her, as they harvest good wheat year after year without her. He tells her he believes her, but where will she go after leaving this village? She replies she wishes to go back to the north. The next day, he moves with her out of the village, and reaching a safe place, she comes out from the cart. He is surprised to see her in his clothes. He tells her she has to earn her keep living with him. She replies with full determination that she is a wise wolf, Hollow, an honorable Hollow, and she will earn her own keep. They start their journey together. The next day, they both wake up. She told him about her tail, the source of her pride, and also mentioned that her ears could hear the coming of disaster and catch lies, which saved many people from danger. She also predicted that there would be rain soon, so they moved out. The rain started, and they found a room to spend the night in the church where he introduced her as his wife. He entered the room and saw her naked and tried to dry her wet clothes. She told him that the wheat neither spoils nor withers until she is alive, and she can disappear if it is eaten, burnt, or ground and mixed into the soil. They thought of selling wheat crops to some other village. He removed his shirt, and she complimented him, saying he was a good-looking man and that the beard looked good on him. He was happy with this comment, and they moved out into the room to the fireplace, talking with another person about merchant and trading. One person became obsessed with him and told him that he owned a vineyard in a town called Parenzo, but he still could not do such trading. He also invited them to his house at Parenzo. After that, another person named Jurin, a rookie merchant, shook hands with him and was impressed with his skill in trading. He also wanted to see a Hollow, but she refused him. He took goat cheese over boiled potatoes as dinner in the room, but when she tried to eat it, he stopped her and gave her a leather string with a wheat bag to hang around her neck to avoid it from spoiling. He also mentioned to her that she had to pay for this food and his best clothes, and she agreed to it. She ate the food and loved it. He asked her once she told him she can hear the lies of other people, so what her opinion about Jurin, and remembered his words who wanted to make a deal with him by mentioning that the current silver coins would have more value when they exchanged them with the new coins, and he would tell them about those coins, and they would have to give him a share from the profit. She told him this must be a lie, came close to him, and told him not to be worried about it. He told her if he were alone, he would investigate it and accept this offer. The next day, he woke up and preached when she joined him and mentioned he could not believe in worshipping one God and never thought about the whole world and nature being created by someone. This is just a change of time. They were about to leave when Jurin came and told them to meet in the town of Pazio and make a contract. They moved, and she told him that wolves attack humans because they want to eat their heads and gain their power, and also asked if he had been attacked by some wolf. He replied he had been attacked about 8 times and mentioned that wolves are formidable. He took it badly to talk about it. She apologized to him and mentioned that wolves have always been hunted by humans, and they feel fear of humans, which is why they attack humans. He felt bad about it. In the night, they lay down, and she told him they both lived in completely different worlds. The next day, they reached a grand town called Pazio, the town of nobles and merchants. She told him she did not need to hide her face because she always appeared in the form of a beautiful girl, looking in her mid-teens with flowing hair, wolf ears, and a dark brown tail. She was pretty sure no one would recognize her here. She saw everything excitedly in the town and became obsessed with apples, wanting to eat them. He gave her a silver coin to buy apples. She bought a lot of apples and started eating them. He tried to get one, but she refused to share, mentioning that all the apples were hers. After that, they moved to sell furs to the Milone Trading Company, which is the third largest trading company. He also wanted to investigate the information given by Jurin. Here, they saw a lot of people in the company and went to sell fur pelts. He was about to make a deal for 140 tenny silver coins, but she stopped him and told the merchant to check their fur pelts. She praised the fur pelts and also mentioned their characteristics, which made the merchant increase the amount. So, he offered them 200 silver coins, but she negotiated again and sold the furs for 210 silver coins. This way, she made him able to earn a lot of money. They drank alcohol as a treat, and he thought to make a deal with Jurin. They met Jurin for a deal who told them he would get 10 trenny silver coins for the information and 10% of their profit, but he would not be responsible for any losses. The settlement date of this offer would be 3 days before the last spring market next year. He accepted it and decided to make a contract at a public notary tomorrow. At night, he told her about different types of silver coins, but she couldn't take an interest in them and slept. The next day, they made a contract, and he told her about trenny silver coins as it is the most trusted currency. He told her he believed Jurin's story would be true because the value of a coin depended upon the power of the country. He went to meet his currency dealer friend, Weiss, who took an interest in Hollow and offered her to work with him at his shop and also to become his wife. But he stopped him and mentioned he came here to know about tenny silver coins. He checked the coins from older to new but couldn't find any difference. Hollow also wanted to check the purity of coins because he had been a currency dealer for decades, but she couldn't check it by sound. When they were walking, she told him the purity of coins was decreasing and it was difficult to make money with it, which meant Jurin lied, and they couldn't make a profit. He felt bad about being swindled by Jurin. She advised him to change his perspective and mentioned that Jurin was sent there by some other person to make a deal. He suddenly had an idea from which they could make money even if the silver coin's value was dropping and told her to go to the Milone Trading Company. Please subscribe to our channel for the next part.